There are moments in life when everything we hold on to seems to slip through our fingers. We grip the past so tightly, hoping it will stay. But in doing so, we only bruise our own hands. We mistakenly believe that holding on makes us strong. But sometimes, true strength lies in knowing when to release. This story will show you why the hardest goodbyes are often the beginning of the most beautiful hellos, and why true healing begins only when you gather the courage to move on. In a small town nestled between mist-covered mountains, there lived a young man named Elias. He was a master clockmaker, but while his hands could fix any broken gear, his heart remained deeply stuck in a time that had long passed. In a small town nestled between mist-covered mountains, there lived a young man named Elias. He was a master clockmaker, but while his hands could fix any broken gear, his heart remained deeply stuck in a time that had long passed. In his tiny shop, tucked away on a quiet cobblestone street, hundreds of clocks lined the walls, gleaming golden pocket watches, towering grandfather clocks, and delicate wooden cuckoos. They ticked in perfect, relentless unison, creating a symphony of time constantly moving forward. But inside Elias's heart, time had completely stopped. 3 years ago, he had lost his beloved wife. Since that morning, Elias had become a prisoner of his own memories. He believed that if he kept every clock winding, he could keep her presence lingering in the room. He was a man desperately trying to freeze the present, to preserve the past. He did not yet know that a heart cannot heal while it remains locked inside a cage of yesterday. To escape the silence, Elias decided to build something extraordinary. He poured every ounce of his sorrow into creating a masterpiece: the Eternity Dial. Day and night he worked, sourcing the finest mahogany and forging silver and gold gears so precise they seemed to turn by magic. It was a monument to his grief, a desperate attempt to build something time could never decay. As the masterpiece took shape, townsfolk marveled at his genius. Elias felt a faint spark of pride. He believed he had outsmarted his own pain by trapping it within a beautiful cage of wood and metal. Yet, beneath the surface, it was built on an obsession with yesterday. He had wound the springs too tightly, building a masterpiece on a fragile foundation of denial. It was a quiet Tuesday when a sharp, unnatural snap echoed through the room. The mainspring ruptured, the heavy weight shifted with a deafening crash. The Eternity Dial slammed onto the floor. Mahogany splintered, glass shattered, and the heartbeat of the clock stopped, leaving behind a suffocating silence. Elias collapsed, staring at the scattered gears. He realized he was powerless against the tides of change. He had sacrificed his peace to build a monument that could withstand time. Yet in 1 second, it was all gone. The sudden physical collapse of the wood and metal perfectly mirrored the collapse of his soul. For days, the shop remained dark. Elias was trapped in a nightmare, frantically trying to glue the shards back together. He stopped eating and sleeping. He was drowning in denial, violently rejecting the reality that some things, once broken, are not meant to be put back together. He clung to the destroyed fragments of his past, completely unaware that his desperate grip was the very thing destroying his present. He was paralyzed by a deep, suffocating guilt, blaming himself for the fall, refusing to accept that the past is unchangeable. Then, an elderly traveler entered the shop. "It is a sharp burden you carry," he said softly. He looked at Elias's bleeding palm, where a shard of glass was embedded. "You are so busy trying to save the shape of what was broken that you do not notice you are bleeding because of it. Why do you hold on to the sharp edges of the past so tightly?" The words cut through the fog. Elias looked at the broken glass, then at the traveler for the first time. He didn't try to fix. He simply listened to the weight of his own brokenness. Elias slowly unfurled his fingers. The sharp pieces of the broken clock face clattered onto the floor. He swept away the dust and the debris, gathering the remnants of his obsession into a simple crate. He sank to his knees, not in denial, but in the exhaustion of acceptance. He let the tears flow. The tears of a man who had finally put down a weight that was far too heavy. He realized that healing wasn't about forgetting the past, but about forgiving himself for not being able to change it. Elias slowly unfurled his fingers. The sharp pieces of the broken clock face clattered onto the floor. He swept away the dust and the debris, gathering the remnants of his obsession into a simple crate. He sank to his knees, not in denial, but in the exhaustion of acceptance. He let the tears flow, the tears of a man who had finally put down a weight that was far too heavy. He realized that healing wasn't about forgetting the past, but about forgiving himself for not being able to change it. The morning sun finally found its way back into the shop. Elias picked up a piece of unpolished, rough wood the traveler had left behind. He began to carve not a clock, but a bird mid-flight. He wasn't checking the time anymore. He was fully immersed in the moment. He realized that life is meant to be lived within time, not against it. He opened the shop door, welcoming the sounds of the town. He was no longer a keeper of the past. He was a creator of the present. Elias's journey teaches us that the tightest grip often causes the deepest pain. Remember these lessons. Letting go is not betrayal. It is freedom. You cannot build a future while holding on to the wreckage of the past. Pain is a teacher, not a permanent home. Resilience is found in acceptance, not resistance. Some things are meant to stay broken. Build something new from the fragments. True strength is the courage to embrace the unknown. If this story brought a moment of peace to your day, please like, share, and subscribe to LifeGram English for more stories that heal the heart and grow the mind. Until next time, be kind to your journey.